Hi pianists, you probably recognize Trepak, or the Russian dance from Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker Suite. He composed this music in 1892 for an orchestra to accompany a classical ballet. The ballet is based on a Christmas fairy tale. Its lively and famous and fun melody serves as a great example to take a famous melody from orchestral medium and be able to play it at the piano. Maybe you have a favorite melody that's from an opera, or that a singer, a pop song, maybe a sacred piece or a jazz piece, and you want to know what kind of chords can I add with that. So this is meant to be a beginner harmonization example where we're going to add chords to a melody. We're only going to use 3 chords today. Our primary chords of 1 and 4 and 5, 7. We could certainly add more chords, but it starts with an understanding here. Later videos will show you how to incorporate 6 and 2 chords and even 7 chords. So this is meant to be a helpful tutorial, and you can take these 3 chords and harmonize a melody like Happy Birthday with 1, 4, and 5. So let's get started. First, we need to label our key signature of this excerpt. 1 sharp, we're in the key of G major. If we look at the starting and ending measures, that also confirms that we're in the key of G and not its relative minor E. You could warm up in this key. Let's do a G 5-finger scale. Let's also practice our G octaves. Let's practice left hand. Let's warm up on our primary chords. G major, G, B, D, 4, 6, 4, G, C, E, back down to G, B, D. 5, 6, 5, D, 7 over F sharp, back to G. So once you've warmed up in your key and you're thinking what patterns we're going to use, start with your Roman numerals. I write out my Roman numerals and what notes belong. So you'll see that the 1 chord, write out G, B, D. Right at the 4 is root position, as the root most strongly suggests that chord to be used. C, E, G, 5, 7, D, F sharp, A, C, back home to G. The 5 can just be used as the triad, and we could save that final 7, which sounds a bit more intense harmonically, for a final cadence back home to G. All right, let's talk through some classical chord progression guidelines. We'll be talking classically, meaning what our early romantic and our classical composers like Mozart, Clementi, Beethoven, and Haydn, what kind of rules they followed within their repertoire. There'll be a later video that will show more of a contemporary harmonization where our chords are different, like we'll hear in jazz and rock pieces. So some of those rules to remember. Most of our music begins and ends on tonic. You want to do a process of matching the melody tones with the chords. Look at your first measure. We have primarily G chords. That would suggest the 1 chord matches there. Look at your last measure. G, B, G. Those 2 chord tones come out of the 1 chord, so I would label those 2 measures first as the 1 chord. We also want to create cadences at the ends of phrases. Let's look at the very end of our piece. We already ended with the 1. The chord before it at measure 7, beat 3, we have an A, and D. If I look at my harmonies, there's only 1 chord that has those 2 notes, and that's the 5, 5, 7. I'm going to write that in as the 5, 7. Use pencil, because we'll write inversions later. So we've got that cadence. Is it a nice conclusion? Okay, some other rules. The 1 chord can go anywhere. So we have permission to go to the 4 or the 5. The 4 chord is a predominant chord, meaning that it likes to go to the 5. It can also go back to the 1 chord, but most often likes to go to the 5. The 5 is our dominant harmony. It goes to the 1 chord. 5 to 1. Go together as a pair. There's some other chords we can insert later, but 5 to 1. Avoid 5 going backwards to 4. That's more of a contemporary type of sound. There it is. 4 back to the 1. So 5 goes to 1 right now. Okay, so let's decide on what Roman numerals could work for the rest of it now that we've got our rules in mind. So we've got the 1 chord already sorted out for measure 1. Measure 2, we have C's, E's, and C's. That would come from the 4 chord. So I'm going to write that in as a 4 option. Measure 3, I've got D's. D's could be the 1 or the 5. So I can write in both of those options. Measure 4, I have G's and B's. The A is really a passing tone, so that would be the 1 chord. Measure 5, I see A and D. That would belong with the 5 or the 5/7. Measure 5, beat 3, G's, G's, and D's. Most likely the 1. The G by itself could be just the 4 chords, so we're figuring out some options. Major 6, F sharp, and D. That would come from our 5-7 chord, and it stays there. Major 7 with the B. B only belongs to the 1 chord, so that'd be a 1 chord. We've already decided on our cadence of 5-7, back home to the 1. All right, now that we have some options down for our Roman numerals, we're going to go back through and decide which chord we'd actually like to use. So major 1 with that G could have been a 4 or a 1 chord, but we already said we like music to most often start with the 1, so we'll stay with the 1 chord there. Major 2, 4. Major 3, we said it could be the 5 or the 1. But major 4 needs to certainly be the 1 chord, so I'm going to avoid playing the same chord twice in a row. So major 3 will play that as a 5 chord. Back to the 1. Major 5 chord. We said 5 does not go backwards to a 4, so that would decide major 5, beat 3. I go to the 1 chord instead of the 4. And the rest of them are pretty clear cut after that. So go through and decide what your options are. Think through your lens of classical rules. Am I moving in the proper progression order? Am I giving it variety by avoiding the same chord too often in a row? And narrow down your chord options. Okay, so those are mostly in root position. This is a fast piece, just like Mozart and Clementi write fast accompaniment patterns. We want to be able to have inversions so our hands can move very quickly within seconds. I don't have to watch my hands, keep my eyes on the score. So let's get into some inversions. Major 1, we'll start in root position. 4 chord, closest inversion is second inversion, 4-6-4. Major 3, the 5, closest inversion would be the 5-6. Back home to the 1. Major 5, closest inversion is the 5-6, first inversion. Back to the 1. I like to stay with the same inversions to start. Back to the 1, 5-6-5, add that 7th. Back home to the 1. Once you've decided on Roman numerals and close inversions, fill in your lead sheets or slash chords above the staff. So we're going to convert this numbering system. The 1 chord in the key of G, write it in as G. Uppercase, that means that it's major in its root position. Major 2, 4-6-4. We have to have something for an inversion symbol. So the 4th scale degree in the key of G is C. So we write C over G or slash G, the root over the bass. 5-6 was this chord, F sharp, A, D. 5th scale degree is D over the root of F sharp. So D over F sharp, back home to G. Major 5, back to D over F sharp, G, D over F sharp. Major 7, G, D7. Don't forget the 7. If it's something different than a triad, you have to specify that D7 over F sharp. Back to G. So always think lead sheets are the root over the bass. Write them as uppercase letters and include anything different than a triad by including that 7th. Okay, now that we've talked through Roman numerals and lead sheets, let's get to how you can play this with some interest. This is where accompaniment patterns come into play. The one that I played in an introduction video was the broken chord. It's nice and fast. It fits great within my common time signature. So I'll break that down. I'll play it louder in the right hand, kind of soft so you can hear what's going on. So I'm going to play this as quarter note beats. You can end with a full chord. If that's too advanced to start, you could simply just play chords as half notes. Sorry, that was whole notes. I'll play it as half notes this time. Half notes work best, as on the second line I changed those harmonies twice in a row. So you could start with whole notes and then switch it off to half notes where the harmony changes more often. If you'd like something a bit more advanced, you'll have to maybe slow it down a little bit and play Alberti bass, which will be eighth notes. Bottom, top, middle, top. So it incorporates all of those skills we talked about: Roman numerals, inversions, lead sheet symbols, accompaniment patterns using our common progression of 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 5, 1. So find your favorite melody. Maybe there's an opera or a musical theater piece that you like, extract that melody and see if you can add those 1, 4, and 5 chords. Almost all of music will be complemented by those 3 chords. Have fun harmonizing your own music.